আজকে 2019 সালে সিসি 11 পেপারটা কমপ্লিট করব।
First question, what did Jimmy do for a living before coming to manage the sweet stall? Before managing the sweet stall in Look Back in Anger, Jimmy Porter ran a jazz band. Comment on the reference to Marlon Brando in Look Back in Anger. The reference to Marlon Brando in Look Back in Anger highlights Jimmy Porter's disdain for cultural trends and societal idols. Brando, a symbol of rebellious masculinity, represents the kind of popular culture Jimmy criticizes for being shallow and conformist, reflecting his frustration with society. He hates all of us. Comment briefly on the word us. Here, in this particular play, Look Back in Anger, Allison means to say that us refers to not only Allison or her father and her family members, but Jimmy's hatred against all people who belong to rich, upper class capitalistic society who only knows the value of money, nothing else.
Or you must get out of this madhouse. Who is the speaker? Why does the speaker say so? The speaker is Helena. She says this to Allison, urging her to leave Jimmy and the toxic environment of their marriage. Helena believes the relationship is damaging Allison emotionally and that she deserves a better life away from Jimmy's anger and cruelty. What does Pinner or Guilford stand for? In Look Back in Anger, Pinner or Guilford symbolizes the middle class suburban life representing comfort, stability, and conventionality. Jimmy uses these references sarcastically to criticize the dull, complacent lifestyle of the middle class, which he despises. What, according to Jimmy, is the white woman's burden?
According to Jimmy in Look Back in Anger, the white woman's burden sarcastically refers to the struggles of middle class women like Allison, who, in his view, live sheltered, privileged lives but complain about trivial problems. It's his mocking critique of their perceived lack of real suffering or responsibility. What is an aria? Why did Jimmy refer to it? An aria is a solo vocal piece in an opera expressing deep emotion. Jimmy refers to it mockingly when addressing Helena, comparing her dramatic statements to an aria. This highlights his contempt for what he sees as exaggerated self-righteous behavior. তোমরা এই অ্যান্সারটা একটু নিজেরা চেক করে নিও, বইয়ে কোন জায়গাতে এই এরিয়া কথাটা আছে এটা একটু দেখে নিয়ে তোমরা অ্যান্সারটা একটু ঠিক করে নিও। আমি লিখেছি কিন্তু বইয়ে এই লাইনটা আমি ঠিক খুঁজে পেলাম না কোন জায়গাতে আছে, তোমরা একটু দেখে নিও। Give in brief in the meaning of the epigraph in T.S. Eliot's poem The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The epigraph in T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is from Dante's Inferno. It features Guido da Montefeltro, who confesses his sins in hell, believing no one will return to the living world to report them. It reflects Prufrock's inner turmoil and reluctance to reveal his true feelings, fearing judgment or exposure. Gathered on this beach of the Tumid River, write briefly on the significance of Tumid River. In T.S. Eliot's The Hollow Man, the Tumid River symbolizes the river Styx or Lethe from mythology, representing the boundary between life and death or spiritual stagnation. It highlights the hollow man's liminal state stuck between meaning and oblivion. What does the speaker mean by the women come and go talking of Michelangelo? In The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, the line, "The women come and go talking of Michelangelo," reflects Prufrock's perception of women as superficial and concerned with high culture symbolized by Michelangelo. While he feels disconnected and inadequate in their presence, It underscores his feelings of isolation and insecurity in social situations. What does W.B. Yeats mean by the ceremony of innocence? In W.B. Yeats's poem The Second Coming, the ceremony of innocence refers to a ritual or state of purity that is lost or corrupted. Yeats uses this phase to suggest the destruction of moral values and the collapse of order in a chaotic world, symbolizing the declining of innocence and the onset of turmoil. With whom does Prufrock disclaim affinity and with whom does he identify himself? In the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, Prufrock disclaims affinity with the confident, socially adept figures he observes, particularly the eyes of who seem to float above him. He identifies himself with the hesitant, introspective figure who feels alienated and paralyzed, symbolized by the yellow fog and his sense of indecision. What is meant by Spiritus Mundi? Spiritus Mundi is a Latin term meaning the spirit of the world. In W.B. Yeats's poem The Second Coming, it refers to a collective unconscious or a universal force that connects all people and events. Yeats uses it to suggest a source of dark, prophetic vision that reveals the chaotic, apocalyptic transformation of the world. তোমরা এখানে অ্যান্সারটা ইন W.B. Yeats's poem The Second Coming, Spiritus Mundi refers to the spirit of the world এরকমভাবেও শুরু করতে পারো। I do not think that they will sing to me. Who is the speaker here? Who are they? The speaker is Prufrock from T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. They refers to the women or society at large who Prufrock believes will not acknowledge or appreciate him. He feels disconnected and unworthy of attention or admiration, reflecting his deep self-doubt and insecurity. What does T.S. Eliot mean by Death's other kingdom in The Hollow Men? In The Hollow Men, T.S. Eliot uses the phrase Death's other kingdom to symbolize a spiritual or existential death, where the hollow men exist in a state of emptiness and alienation. It represents a realm of moral and emotional dissolution, distinct from physical death, where individuals are detached from meaning, purpose and vitality. এই পেপারটা তাহলে কমপ্লিট হয়ে গেল, তাহলে আর দুটো মাত্র পেপার থাকলো।